Hey guys, how you doing? Okay, I'm gonna do a couple things real quick before we get started. Welcome to the live feed. Hi. You guys, real talk. I've had a tough day, like a tough couple of days. So I'm really looking forward to this because little known fact, when you are an energy healer and the energy comes through you, it literally washes through all of your energetic nooks and crannies too. So I'm really looking forward to this. And the energy doesn't belong to me, doesn't belong to anybody. It belongs to source. So it's not like I can mess it up because it's life force. It's not mine anyways. So I know that this process is extremely rewarding to do, and I hope it is extremely rewarding for you to receive as well. You guys, I'm just getting a couple things done. Give me just a quick second, okay? Hi guys. Yes, Alicia is going to be our moderator tonight. I'm just going to take care of that real quick. Where are you, Alicia? There we go. Everybody say hi to Alicia. I'm going to have my eyes closed during a lot of tonight. I'm just going to straight up trance channel. So she's going to make sure y'all are behaving yourself. And I'm just going to share this on Facebook. You guys settle in. I forgot to bring myself a cup of tea, but I promise I'll have one when we're done. How's the music, you guys? Is it too much? Is it too little? I do want to set the tone. Hi, guys. Well behaved. Behave. Okay, I think I shared it on Facebook. I think we're good. Oh my goodness. Okay. Deep breath. Set the intention that you're open to receive. It doesn't mean you have to just receive everything. I know everybody's very intentional about the energies they're letting in and the energies they're keeping out. So just the highest alignment is what we affirm you let in. It's what I affirm I let in. It's what I affirm I send out. Take what's for you, leave what's not. I'm going to give a few logistics real quick. So in the description of the video, there is a donation mention and a link. I usually do sessions, like I said, like hour-long things for people for $150, but there's a lot of people who can't do that right now. They still need spot check readings. They still need healings. There's a request for turning down the music. Thank you. What I wanted to do is make these things available, but hopefully not at the expense of my poor business going under. So if you can spare $5, I don't mean to be salesy, you guys. It's just, if you can do it and everybody does it a little bit, I'll keep doing this. And then we don't have to worry about big, long sessions. We can just deal with what's in front of us today. And I really appreciate you supporting my small business, and shout out to all the other amazing small businesses that are staying afloat during this time. All of the people who are going above and beyond for everybody else. I feel so grateful to be around at this time. Are you not noticing how certain parts of humanity are just coming together? It's a really beautiful thing. So anyways, I am a Reiki Master. Have been for 15 years. I teach it, but you guys, what I do is not just Reiki, because I don't believe Reiki is the unpopular opinion of a Reiki master. Reiki is not the only ultimate kind of like energy flow system. There is just energy available to all of us, and it doesn't matter what we call it. It is good. It is a light. It is positive. It is for you, and it is pure. It doesn't come from us. It comes from source. It's life. So you take that in what form you need it, and leave anything that doesn't resonate. Now, as I go into a deep state for as long as I can of healing and channeling, what's going to happen is I'm going to get instruction for some of you in particular. Some of you are listening live. Some of you are going to be in the replay. It doesn't matter. The energy matrix is set up here where we can send the energy through the live feed here. It does work. It kind of works like iCloud, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is just walk you through the energy I'm feeling. If something does feel like I'm talking right at you, I want you to really breathe into the instruction if it feels right for you, because I may have you visualize certain things in order to move the energy and shift the energy and kind of meet it halfway. Otherwise, just listen to the frequency of the energy in your feeling senses and your hearing senses and your seeing senses and your knowing senses, and just kind of let it wash over you. Take what you need, like I said. Okay, and I apologize for the sheets in the background. That's actually for sound. You don't see it in my YouTube videos anymore because they only see this, but this is the behind the scenes. The foam for the sound room was too expensive, so white sheets. Anyways, okay. So I think we will get started here. If you have any special requests, maybe what you could do is let me know. And I wonder if there's a way, if you have special requests, why don't you do this? I'm going to give you full permission. Write it in all caps. And what I'll do is I'll scroll through at the end once I come out a couple of times of where I'm at, and I'll scroll through the chat, and I will see if I can go directly to the things that are in caps. Will you guys do that for me? Okay. Awesome. I'm just going to get centered. Do the same, okay? A lot of purple energy around us right now. Our crown chakra. Usually our crown chakra is like that pink, magenta kind of color, but it's just, I think a lot of us, it's probably given the circumstances that we're in, we're shifting our focus from everyday 3D things, and we're tapering down all the different stimulation and effects we have. And what it's doing is it's having us go inside. Some of it's driving us mad. But some of it is a really great opportunity to be acutely aware of what's in our intuition. So let's heal what feels like it's in our head too much in a bad way, and let's bring the energy into our third eye. Allowing the purple energy to just smooth like butter, you guys, all over the crown chakra area, all the way to the shoulders, I feel. There's some people in particular. Oh, you guys got to stop the negative self-talk. You guys, I want you to know that those of you who have the negative self-talk, I can see bubbles around your ear. One ear in particular, it feels like my right ear, okay? The bubbles of you guys, when you have that self-talk, it hurts you. Please reach out spiritually, intuitively, and know truth beyond the fear and the doubt and the self-talk, because it's around us, and we can't, it doesn't serve, and we don't deserve that. Instead of focusing on putting ourselves down, instead, I was talking to a friend about this earlier, send healing energy to our habits and our practices and our thoughts about other people, other things, and just refocus into that. You want to change your self-talk? Separate yourself from judgment and instead scrutinize the things you're giving your attention to. You guys, just, if you want to do this with your hands, even take your hands up and just feel yourself moving the debris away from your head, okay? The place where thoughts are, but your ears even, okay? I mean, because that is the center where words and thoughts and phrases go, and just gently remove. Some of you, I feel when you hear what you're putting there, and it's not your fault, but you can do something about it. But when you hear what you're putting there, and you even cry, a lot of crying sometimes, okay, for some people, just be aware that it does put energy there, and it's okay. You can release it and let it go. Make sure you're taking a lot of showers and washing your hair, or just running I love even when I take a bath, at the end of it, I run my head under the faucet with like cool water. Just honestly, keeping even a fan blowing in your face, moving the energy away from this area, okay? Now they want to talk about mental health and stability right now. The feeling of, it's like movement, but it can't go anywhere. Do we know what that means? Yes. It's because we're trying to go outside. This speaks to me directly too, but if it speaks to you, they say go inside. Things that bring your focus inside. Journaling, reflecting, meditation. There's not a shortage of meditations out there right now. Everybody's putting them out. Consider going inside. There's so much in the world that all of us are dealing with, and I feel individual scenarios, no two quite alike, but individual scenarios. And for those who are feeling overwhelmed, it's because the energy has a hard time moving outside of you. Move it inside of you. I know that sounds woo-woo and vague, but I promise it will be more grounding. And with that grounding, you will be clearer, and the solutions may appear in a shorter amount of time. You know that Rachel Hollis book? I just heard the title of it, Girl, Wash Your Face. Water, you guys, water moves the energy. I do feel that the energy is moving down the body, because now I'm starting to feel shoulder. I do feel this is physical pain. Before it was sort of like emotional or mental energy. Physical pain now I'm feeling in the shoulders, particularly the left shoulder. For those of you feeling pain or tension in your shoulder, even just some movement onto the muscles, manipulation, even just gently, can shake up the energy, because actually what I'm feeling is the energy has hardened. It feels hard, and when it's not malleable, when it's not movable and flexible, and it's hard, and it tries to bend, the energy, it gets cracks, and through there it feels just not in a best state of vitality. It doesn't feel flexible to me. So make sure, if you are feeling a resonance to this message, that what you do is you imagine that if the energy in your shoulders is hard and cracked, I want you just to imagine white light. I also see some of you maybe doing baby blue or cotton candy light. That's fine too, okay? Let the light in to the areas, the cracks inside your shoulder. Let it lubricate and soften and heal, and be sort of a flexible bonding that allows the energy to move through those areas where there are cracks, and kind of push outward, so that the whole state of the muscles are now feeling flexible. Again, physical movement can be a good idea. Take it easy, take it slow. Physical movement though. And be aware that even though we're talking physically, the root of it sometimes is in our stress level, okay? So if we take it back even further, and I'm sure we'll be addressing stress at some time tonight, but if you take it back even further, just start to allow kindness to these shoulders for all that it's taking the brunt of, okay? Now, I would like you to, if this resonates, actually do imagine that cotton candy pink energy. And I want you to just wrap those shoulders in like a hot pad of cold, pink cotton candy energy, and just let it soothe, like I said, like a heating pad or a hot pad, but not something that's red hot, something that's just cotton candy pink, okay, soothing. I'm being drawn now to the face. I feel that the message here, and again, this is coming from a lot of your guides, this is coming from my guides, source, this is coming from your loved ones on the other side. There's just a whole ball of information that everybody's kind of throwing some stuff in the pot here. So to be clear where it's coming from, but I do feel that there's attention being placed on the face and wanting to keep it clear and clean, open and flowing. If you're having allergies, make sure you are, again, splashing water on your face. Make sure you're blowing your nose. Keep things clear. It's just like cleaning the energy of a room and saging. We love saging a room, but how often do we keep the things inside of us really, really clear? They're saying if there's certain smells that clear you up, like eucalyptus, or it could be sage, it could be something else. If there's something that opens you up, all my aromatherapy people out there, I'm sure you have a ton of things for this, but if there's something that could open you up, I mean, even think about, I'm going to throw something in here too, a little bit of something spicy, or a spice kind of drink, right? Think about doing something and doing something kind for the face today, and open up that energy there. They're making me feel like opening it up physically is going to move energy in the direction that many of you need, because it just feels generally like, I wouldn't even give it a flavor or a motivation, but it just feels like blocked energy when there is stuffiness there. And remember, every bit of progress you make clearing up literally removes blocks. And because it is in the head and in the face, it's very close to your centers where your thoughts and activity is happening. So it just aids in the process of clarity. Okay, heal that. Your guides want to do an individual healing for you right now. So everybody that's listening, take a moment. Maybe you put your palms face up just to signify in your body that you're willing to receive. This is not from me. This is from your guides that are around you, your angels, your guides, whoever's with you, source energy coming through you, in you, perfect alignment with you. They tell me that they're going to send you a color. Could be multiple colors, but even focusing on one is perfect. If you get a color, focus on that color and let that energy come in and through and out of your body. Push it 2 feet out as it comes in. Let it build up until it pours out of your body, and then keep pushing it out. See how far you can do. Every 3 breaths or so, push it another 2 feet out. Really run the energy through your entire body. Own that color. Take on that color. It is exactly what you need right now. Your guides are giving that to you. You're seeing it. You're feeling it. Moving it through the body. A lot of clarity in the chest right now. I'm feeling for a lot of you. It might just be that's where the energy is going in now. You're moving it through your chest. Yes, through the hips now and through the legs. I am feeling your mid-body all fill up with that energy. Really, really good. Everybody, you guys look like a rainbow right now. Just all the colors of the rainbow. I am hearing your color means something. I don't know if I'll be the one to tell you tonight, but look it up. Okay? There's a message in the color you received. It might not even be a color you usually receive, but they want you to get a certain message to look up that color. They're saying in the present times, when you need strength, that color will ground you and anchor you. It could be in softness, or it could be in boldness. It could be in courage. It's different for each of you. So tune into that. Okay, now they want to lead us through just a sealing of that energy. So I'd like you to do something here. I'd like you to imagine that you're breathing energy in through the crown chakra, into your chest area, and when you take the breath out, I want you to feel like you're just blowing the energy into the space in front of you. And I want you to hold it like a basketball. You may actually start to feel resistant at one point, like, oh, here's the perimeter of where the energy expands, and with every breath, maybe it gets a little more malleable. It starts to feel like it grows. And do that, and when you're doing that, and it feels right, just seal the energy in. Okay, thank you for that. I'm going to start to look at some of the comments here. Let's see what we have. Anything in caps? Okay. For a job, whatever, no ID. I like that name. For a job and healing from a recent bout with COVID-19 and a lingering right side head pain. Interesting, right side head pain. Joe. Okay. Joe, you don't have to receive everybody's energy, but what I'm going to say is, and if anybody wants to send energy now, you can put it in a pot for Joe to choose from. And power in amounts of energy can shift very much, and at this time you may be willing to receive that. So bringing the attention again back to the right side of the head. Again, Joe, I want to point out that there was a lot of water that I felt, just water, rinsing, water, rinsing water. And actually, Joe, energy work, you don't have to be a Reiki master, or you don't have to know any energy. You don't have to know any of that. All you have to do is tune in with your imagination, not the opposite of psychic. It's the same place the information goes, so don't overthink it. But just imagine whatever it looks like. When I was on the right ear, it felt like a cellulose bubbling, like a mass. And I just wanted to it doesn't feel like it's hard as a rock, like we'd have to really chisel away at it. It does feel malleable, so it can be cleared. It can be moved. Make sure you're not getting a little too overwhelmed with, because we did talk about self-talk first. Just make sure the thoughts you're keeping and the hopes you're keeping and the ideas you're letting bounce around in that head of yours are all conducive to your healing. For a job, I'm just going to pull a card here. Joe, it's really safe for you to go back to the drawing board right now and rethink the whole idea of what a job is, what it can be, what you're doing. I just pulled two cards that were just like here from my last reading. Safe for you to love. It's a romance deck. It's about being safe, and ideas and inspiration. This is really just saying that it's okay to sort of really switch things up and go in a different direction. I really do feel that. I'd like to send you some healing into the future, and I'd like it to recognize where the highest, most perfect job is for you. And I'm going to ask that energy be sent there, and that it just light up in your attention so much that you can feel a pull in the present right towards it and be divinely guided, sending the energy into the future. There's something in between 2 and 3 for me. Usually I would think 2 to 3 weeks, but I have to be honest, I'm wondering if it's 2 to 3 months. And given the circumstance we're in, how so many jobs are affected, I might just be right about 2 or 3 months versus 2 or 3 weeks, because I stop before I say that. I feel like they're trying to say it usually would be, like you could have had it, but it feels a little bit more like that. Trust that it is a beacon with a signal, and part of you in every moment can feel it and be pulled to it. We're putting energy there, Joe. Putting energy into the future, brightening the beacon. And even if you don't understand the signal at every moment, you will be aligned with it. And the next step on the next turn on the GPS just lights its way. Joe, I think that's the time frame for you, okay? All right, awesome. Christine Thomas, how will my type of work progress without a job? Short answer. So I think you have to get vocal and go back to basics. They're saying basics and get vocal. Remember what you loved about your job. Remember that like one thing. The one thing that motivates the whole thing, like it's so complicated when you think about all the different aspects. What do I do? What do I do? But there's just the one thing, the original thing, or the highest thing, the simplest thing. And they want you to get vocal. I don't know if that means going on social media. Right now it kind of does. But there's something about keeping it simple but blowing it up and being visible. It is literally attached to your gift, so do not be afraid. Just send energy there for clarity. You know the one thing. I do feel, can I say, and I don't know all the ins and outs of your circumstance, even though we have connected, it does feel energetically like there's some hesitancy to just put yourself out there. Like if you were guided to do a Facebook Live on your one thing and you wanted to even share to your friends, I feel that there's this stop to do that. I do feel that you are more effective at expressing and sharing in whatever avenue you do. Doesn't have to be a Facebook Live. Could be, doesn't have to be. Whatever you do decide to do, it would be easier if you just narrowed in and made it really simple and said, I'm going to do one thing. I have one purpose, one point. I'm going to quickly do that and be seen. And when I made my point, if I feel uncomfortable, I'm just going to retreat after that. Even that one step is going to put you on the grid. And the other thing I want you to know is I'm hearing from your guides, oh my goodness, are you needed right now? Oh my goodness, are you so perfectly created and situated to make the impact that you could only dream of making. But it does start somewhere. And I would like you to find a way to be visible and keep it simple. Okay, keep it very simple. One point. And even if, and Christine Thomas, I don't even know what the scenario, I just realized I don't even know what your scenario is. But that just came out. I don't even know what kind of job you have or what you're doing. It's just, I stand by what Spirit said. Okay. Lisa says, should I rethink my career and what is up with my feet? Okay, I'm gonna look at your feet first. It does feel when I tune into both feet equally, it feels like there's a bit of what I would describe on an energetic way, although I'm not a doctor and I don't really know what this means necessarily. I'll try to poke around it, but it feels like there's an overactivity. It could be tingles and pain or an overstimulation, and it's like a feeling sense. It could be even the opposite. It could be a numbness, but that in itself is more data than the feet usually get, because we usually don't think about our feet. So if something's happening, it's like it's extra, and like the energy feels a little overactive. They are making me feel things like, I don't think it is this, but I'm just grasping at different things that could happen when there's extra stimulation in the feet. I mean, I don't know anything about feet. Let's see here. Things like gout or things like what causes pain in the feet. It's just overabundance of something. It may be the overabundance of nerve response, an overabundance of something physical and chemical. It feels like, look into there being too much of something in the feet, too much of something, or something that needs to be dispelled. Like, anybody's a doctor, please chime in. What happens when there's too much of something that happens in the feet? Too much of something. Too much of something. Just take a look at I wish I was a doctor sometimes. Take a look at, it feels like over out. So like when it's over all of it, sometimes it is nerves. It's either an overabundance of something in the feet or activity in the feet, and finding a way to rectify that will bring it back into a state of normalcy. I do hear it's going to be okay. I do hear it is manageable, and I also hear the word fixable. Okay. Also, Lisa, should you rethink your career? What decks do I have here? Look at this, right on top, life purpose. Visualize around the image. Okay, let's see here, what do we have? Lisa. Should you rethink? Well, I think you need to consider your options, because I think in particular, I just pulled 3 cards. They were all very different. I mean, I don't think the cards are the point. I think what it's telling me is that you have different directions. Teaching, bodywork, and children. It's like 3 totally different things. So I think what's happening is you're being asked to, yes, think about your career. Yes. Should you rethink it? That doesn't mean necessarily make a certain decision, but should you rethink it? Absolutely. Because I think there are a couple avenues at this point where you can go, and you do really need clear guidance, but it's going to come from really thinking all the way through each and everything. They're asking me to have you think about the future of it, the longevity of it, even things about like retirement, 401k, these things like this. I do feel that they want you to have vision for the future when you're rethinking these things. I do feel you're multi-talented. I do feel you could be called to serve in many ways. I do feel it is your choice. You can make a choice, but yes, definitely rethink it, because there is at least 3 options and directions you could go. I do believe they're all wonderful. You will decide which one feels best. You will succeed. It'll be good. Open to a message that will serve my highest good, my detox lounge. Love it. Oh. Detox Lounge, you're open to a message to receive, but the interesting thing is I think you're supposed to be giving some messages. The speaker card came up for you. Speaker card is all about being a leader, and it's about saying something you have, and something that's in you, something you can share, something you have a light, an epiphany, an understanding. I'd like to see you wash the information over others so that the energy and the healing, your energy is super strong. It's either your energy or it's your mission or your message. It's probably both, because you need the energy for the mission. Very, very overwhelmed by a sense of goosebumps, but in a good way. It feels good, like a rolling. You know how like when you get a massage and you feel like, that's the spot. Energetically, I do feel the energy moving in. It's like, that's the spot, that's the spot, that's the spot. So something you have in you that you have to say, something you need to share, really hits that for others. I feel very strongly about that. Please consider your highest path and be open to that. Kelly says, will my divorce go smoothly and in my favor? Kelly. Kelly, yes, but can I say that I do feel you going through it? I'm I'm not trying to make your bed. I'm trying to tell you what I feel so you can move into the energy you'd rather have instead. But I do feel that, how do I say this? Yes, I do feel it, like you say, going in your favor and doing what it needs to do. But I do sense a broken heart, and this is what I want to do for you, Kelly. I want you to imagine something. I channeled a modality from my guides many, many years ago, and I do this every once in a while. I want you to do something, Kelly, and everybody else, if you guys want to do this too, please do this. It's an amazing process. Okay, Kelly, I want to do for you a multidimensional love infusion. Okay? I want you to imagine that you're inside a geometric disco ball, okay? And each of the little places that shine on the disco ball is a person in a time period, a soul in a moment, every moment, that has loved you, sent you, and wished you and felt for you love for you. I want you to imagine that it's so big and vast that it spans, if you believe in past lives, if you believe in future lives, if you believe in pre-existence, post-existence, doesn't matter. Every ounce of love that ever was, that is, and that ever will be in all of the universe. I want you to imagine that it has its place on this mirror geometric area that's all around you. And I just want you to imagine that it takes source's light and through that mirror just bounces it right into your heart today. Today, in this moment. The energy funnels down and comes in to fill your heart today. You are drawing upon it in this moment. That should light you up. And you guys can do this at any time because love is beyond time and space, as we know. Will it go smoothly in your favor? Yes, but when we consider the love and the healing that you need, that would be a way of like hypothetically saying it won't be so smooth because there is healing work that needs to be done, but the logistics are all smooth. I do feel that, okay? Okay, chronic pain on the right side, hip and back for Jennifer Wilson. Jennifer, I would love if you would be open to receiving energy from everyone because amazing support can be sent. Take what you want, leave what you don't. Anybody who wants to send and visualize energy with me, this is Jennifer Wilson's chronic pain on the right side, hip and back. Do you already feel that there's like this stretch? It's almost like a band that goes in between the two of them. One of them moves, the other one pulls. I do feel that this is a band that, gosh, I wish we could just get rid of it. But it's there, and that's okay. So I want you to, Jennifer, maybe even do that, like what I'm doing right now. Like put one hand kind of on the shoulder and one hand kind of on the hip. And I want you to just brace the energetic band that literally loops around like a rubber band between the two. And I want you to take the pressure off of the energy band by just supporting it. So it's not holding all the weight of its own. And then I want you guys to just imagine that Jennifer is open to your energy and then she'll take what she needs. But I want you to just imagine that everybody is lending their energetic support to take pressure off of the band that stretches between your shoulder and your hip. Taking pressure off of it so it's almost not strained at all. And the more and more energy that gets let in, that band just becomes obsolete and it gets a reprieve. Jennifer, I'm going to light a candle for you tonight to keep the energy anchored in and the support in that band of energy. But when you need the energy, I want you to visualize exactly this for a time. And lighting a candle is just a way that I'm just holding a prayer space for you. It's nothing weird. Not that it is weird. People do candle rituals all the time. I think they're beautiful, but just imagine that it fulfills the intention of holding that support. Jennifer, hold your hands like that as long as you can comfortably, okay? Okay, if you guys missed it, I would like you, if it's okay with you, if it's possible, to put your comments and your requests in all caps so I can quickly move through the conversations you're having and the things I need to pay attention to. Diane says, my son works at a grocery store. Will he stay safe? I worry about him. Okay, we're just going to protect him right now. Again, what I'd like everybody to do is not necessarily let the energy touch Diane's son, because we don't want him to be exposed to any energy he's not kind of like consenting or bringing in. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to almost create a protective bubble, let's say 6 feet away from him, okay? A 6 feet perimeter around him, where I'd like to put cheesecloth, energetic cheesecloth, all around him, so that only the vital energy comes through, and nothing. It's almost like putting a mask on his vital energy. So I want you to just imagine white light. It can feel solid like cheesecloth, or like a cloth, or whatever you want to imagine. But just imagine this, and it just follows and moves with him wherever he goes, 6 feet out from his body. Anything inside is clean and clear. Everything outside is fine, but he's protected from it. I want you to imagine that anything that doesn't serve him literally meets this distance and repels back, that it bounces off. I want you to feel that the energy is so malleable that it will, or it is so real, so available, that energy literally recoils from it if it's not the right energy, and if it's not the right anything, energy, matter, anything, okay? And we just send and make that available to him. And will he be okay? He will now. I do believe that. I do. Ellen says, hello, Tana. I know I'd like to change jobs and possibly careers. I don't have a direction about what's in my best, highest good. Can you provide any insight? It'd be better to do on a reading night, because then I could get really deep into getting, because right now I'm channeling energy, not words, phrases, and sentences. So please come back on a reading night. But let me see, while I'm in this energy, what I can get for you. I'm feeling that you're very worried about it, to the point where it kind of makes some like heavy feelings of anxiety. And I want you to just be really, I'm just gonna say it the way I hear it. I want you to be okay with that. Like, don't think that, don't be ashamed of the way you're reacting to the energy. It is different for everyone. It's very hard. Yes, career change, talk to your angels, study, look around you. I do feel that it would be very interesting for you to just survey what the world needs right now, meaning the people and the businesses around you, your local area. This is like a go to Craigslist and just survey who's hiring. I do feel that there's this energy around who's hiring. If you don't have direction, trust that the universe may bring something into your awareness that you didn't have to think up on your own, but you do have to take it from there and connect to it energetically and feel if that is the one that is meant for you or not. But do me a favor, when you get stuck and you don't have any answers, survey what's out there. You don't know who's looking for jobs or what job to take, but other people know they're looking for you. They'll have an ad out about it. So meet it halfway, do the research, survey, because I do feel it's important for you to be in a certain area, like that's important to you. So just look through that area and consider, sky's the limit, but I do feel, you said you would like to change jobs. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say, I think you should change jobs. Change jobs. Look, I mean, like literally, this card comes up and I had this deck right in front of me. Career change. There are some like teacher education cards here, which are interesting too, but so if that resonates, but it also just means get educated on your scenario beyond having to have the insight yourself. Go survey what's going on. What direction is in your highest good? Survey first and then pay close attention to the way you feel and how excited you get. Please, my insight is to survey. Make sure you're looking at everything that's hiring. Do me a favor, also turn every stone. Ask your friends who is hiring. I want to send some energy. I want to do the same thing I did for, was it Joe? So for you, Ellen, I want to just I want to talk to Ellen, talk to your future self. And we're going to ask your future self to go point at the moment she finds what she's looking for. I want her to stake that energy into the ground and into the timeline. And I want her to light up the beacon so that you will know it when you see it. I do feel you out of ideas right now. We're not really sure. It's okay, because you'll know it when you see it, meaning you're not going to come up with it. I think something else is going to come up with it, and then you'll be inspired. That's the insight I have. I do feel that after surveying, you'll only have one idea. So pay attention to the reason why it's your only one thing you're considering, and then don't be afraid. That beacon will be strong. Anytime you want, please focus on your future self giving you the deets. Please focus on your future self giving you the details. It can do that. Okay, let's see. B vitamins, okay. Daniela, what color energy can I visualize around the immigrant children I work with? They feel lonely, worry, miss their families. So white light is like the water of energy, but sometimes children, let's put it this way. If someone was hurting, we could send them vitality. But what if a child was crying? What does it really need? It needs its mother. So we need energy that feels like its mother, or something like that, right? Because sometimes we don't just need any advice. We need a very particular, specialized kind of advice. Energy is the same way. So pink, cotton candy pink is the least invasive for me, the way I see it. People have different ways that they see things, but for me, cotton candy pink, and very light, wispy, not even thick. And as the wispy energy is done, then you could lay it on a little thicker. But the cotton candy energy is very soothing. It literally doesn't have anything that doesn't focus directly on soothing and comforting. And I think that would be the best thing to do. Let's do some now, you guys. Around the immigrant children that Daniela works with that feel lonely and miss their families. If you feel guided, do this with me here. Just feeling like we're sending like the weighted blanket energy, just the calming and the soothing, not pushing, but just laying a level of comfort over them, like a blanket of cotton candy, wispy energy. And as the wispiness becomes part of their energy field, you can lay it on a little thicker. It's like hugging someone lightly. And when you know they're accepting the hug, you can kind of go in and feel it a little deeper. Turn your pink wispy into a little bit thicker, like cotton candy itself. And just put that blanket over those children. Just put that blanket there. And you know what? Do me a favor. Put the blanket over the people who are serving those children as well, because they need a reserve of that energy themselves if they're going to channel it through them. Just put that healing blanket over everyone. Okay, good. I need some help getting over Carlos says, I need some help getting over the extended slump to get ready for the next step. I'm displaced right now. I need to push in the right direction. Okay, Carlos, I want you to imagine a very bold color. For me, it feels like blue or turquoise, even emerald green, okay? Because let me, can I say, Carlos, you can handle it. I feel your energy is very strong and it's ready and it's like, let's do this. So this is the strongest energy I've felt, like palpable energy. This is the strongest energy I've felt since I've been here. It is ready to blow up and move past the blocks. I think you're done. You're tired. You're done of the slump. You're done. The energy is building up. What I want you to do is I want you to imagine bold movements like fire hoses and dams breaking and power coming through, because really what I want you to do is I want you to have the energy just catapult forward, and the catalyst of the energy going full force. This is not for everyone, okay? This is not for everyone because some people really need pink cotton candy blankets. But for you, Carlos, not that you don't appreciate the healing, but I think your priority is to get where you want to go and get there as quick as possible. And I'll tell you, you are strong. You are strong, Carlos. So when you need to, I want you to imagine that around your entire body, that there's just a dam, and on the count of 3, you're just going to visualize the dam crumbling and the energy just boom out from here to the ends of the universe in an instant, and just push the energy and bring it all the way through and push it out. I mean, run energy, and I mean, run it big. Not advisable for everyone, but Carlos, that push you want, that's what it is. Because anytime you actually visualize energy moving fast and pushing fast, things are going to happen. But Carlos, be ready, because there could be a lot of change that comes with that, because things are going to happen really fast, really, really fast. But Carlos, you are so strong enough. You may be the strongest person in this room, in this session, Carlos, because I can't imagine. I've never felt and advised this during an open session. But Carlos, this is definitely 100% what I feel from you. Woo! My crown chakra is just going. So do make sure the energy you're running is from source, but take the boldness of it and run it through. Run it through. I feel like there's something else I need to tell you to do, but I can't get it. Hold on. It feels like they want you to put bold colors around your body, and I keep asking if it's clothing, and they're like, no. And then it's like, almost feels like paint. But I'm like, he's not going to rub paint on his body. That's weird. It's really interesting because the vibration of bold color I feel around you. I wonder if there is something that you do that I just don't understand, which is like, I just feel it like literally on the physical body. I'm like guessing bath bomb, one of those black bath bombs, and you get in the bathtub. I don't know. It could just be a visual that they're giving me to actually, warrior paint yourself up. Like literally just imagine warrior paint on your body and feel the bold, dark. It feels like I said, turquoise or like royal blue or navy blue. It just feels like we need that in and around your entire body. Jewelry. If it's any jewelry you can wear that has dark stones or dark, not even just black though. I want to stay away from black, like blue, because black is more of a protecting, and I want energy to go out. I do want like blue, okay? And I don't know why I went like this. Maybe you have something blue. Okay, that makes more sense. Let's see here. Okay, Kimmy Kim says, hi Tana, I'm open to receiving a message that will serve my highest and best good right now. OMG. The reason I said OMG is because I immediately feel romantic love for you. Kimmy Kim, if you want to let me know your relationship status, you can, but let me just tell you what I get. It does feel something in the future. So if you're asking about the present and you're feeling either dissatisfied or you want something to propel or create or become manifest or grow, that they are pointing to the energy that's there now is building something for the future. I'm going to call a spade a spade. It is romantic energy. It's romantic energy. It's partner energy. If you're with someone, you could be getting married. If you're not with somebody, you're going to meet someone. This energy brings it to a next level. I do wonder if something is there now, but I do feel the thing in the future is not the thing that you have now. The message is about the future. The other card that came up was be supportive. I'm also hearing be ready. Okay, let me just send energy here. Aha. You know how people were looking at their future jobs? This is the visual I'm getting for you, Kimmy Kim. Again, I don't know your relationship status or what's going on, but there is 100 versions of Kimmy Kim in the future that are all pointing to one person in particular. They're drawing your attention to one person in particular, and they're pointing and saying, that is the one, that's the one. And so it's almost like you won't be able to see them behind the present moment, but you'll feel 100 Kimmy Kims from the future all pointing and telling you of someone being the one. Pay attention to where your heart wants to go right now. Pay attention to what it wants and what it feels and what it's afraid of, but don't let the fear get the best of it. Put yourself out there. Do the thing. Be okay. Be resolved. If you're happy with your situation, go further. If you're not, consider there is something further. Kimmy Kim, literally, romantic love around you. Romantic love. That's your message. Beth Ann, what am I supposed to do right now? Help me on my soul's path. Oh, rest first, rest, but just for a short time. You ever hear that? You ever hear that quote that says, "Let her rest, for when she wakes, she'll move mountains"? Beth, I know it feels like you should have figured it, like your self-talk is, I should have figured this out by now. I should have figured this out. I should have the answer. I should have been here by now. But even if that's the way you feel, consider that when you rest, you're still heading in the direction of your goal. Because rest is an integral part of what you'll be able to do the next day. I do feel a short rest. Beth Ann, it feels like 1.5 to 2 weeks of rest. I mean, literally, like let yourself off the hook. Completely let yourself off the hook. But then I do feel at that moment, regroup. There is something about going back to your past, the people and behaviors and patterns and relationships, and either healing it, learning it, or mending it. There's something about that, because you can be faster. What do they say? You can be faster. You will be stronger. You will be, I want to say another thing that comes to mind energetically here. It feels like you think you are your past and what you've been capable of, but just because you haven't been capable of it in the past doesn't mean that it's not part of your future. I heard that recently. I resonated on an energetic level, because literally people are half of their past, and trust me, trust me that you are also half of your future energetically. Like, just to create a simple visual. So you literally already have in you parts of what is to come, but there needs to be a quick rest. 2 weeks, look at the past, decide what you want to change, one thing at a time. Mending bridges is what's coming up. So I don't think you have to look far. I think you have to just look at what didn't work before and like fix it. That's what it feels like. And through that, like I was just talking to somebody today who did like an MLM business and loved it, but then kind of fell short and was looking like, what's my next step? And I said, I think it's to go back. I think it's to go back and be stronger, be faster, be better. I said, I don't think the answer is different. I think your intuition was right. I just think it's time. And she was like, I had not considered that something that didn't work was still the answer. So the reason I'm saying this is because this is what I feel for you. Go back and assess what you can do stronger, faster, better. Okay. Jennifer Booth. Hi, Tana. Do my guides have a message on how I can progress as a soul in this life? I think you know that anything you focus on will manifest. You have an energetic chemistry that feels like a beautiful marriage between surrender and alchemy. Knowing it's like why is this analogy coming to me? Yoda, okay? Yoda always knows when to teach and to when to let the student fall, and has like an overwhelming sense of peace about the whole process. For you, how do you progress? You focus on that chemistry. What is so easy for you that you dance in it? What is so easy that you dance in it? What is so alchemical for you? Focusing on that. First and foremost, focusing on that. I just feel, it almost feels like a twin flame energy between you and yourself, and dancing with that part of you. Focus on what is alchemical within you. That will help you on your purpose. Heidi, will my boys be safe and have no more car accidents? My goodness, Heidi. Okay, 2 boys, right? Your boys, will my boys be safe? It could be 2 or more. I want everybody just to imagine a little scene with a car and some young men around. And we're just going to put energy in the skies, because the skies are everywhere, and everywhere they go is going to have a sky. And I want you to imagine that we're above the sky, and we're just kind of loading up the clouds and the sunshine in the air with all sorts of requests for angelic guidance and presence and protection, or whatever energy is guidance, presence, and protection for you. I'd like you to just imagine that energy just surrounds her boys and anybody else you want to protect with this energy. Just feel like it goes anywhere a car goes, because she's saying car accidents. I want to be very clear. Roads and cars and places that the vehicles travel. Again, also in the air. Don't forget the airplanes. There's also a lot of movement, and we can make it all smooth and protected. And now sending energy to her. Sending energy to you, Heidi, right to your heart, and hold your hand over your heart and just accept what feels right. I want you to hear safety. Safety. Feel what safe feels like, and know that you're feeling it because it exists. It could feel like it exists in a desire more than it exists in a reality, but you still know what safety feels like. You know what it is because you want it, you desire it. It's not unfamiliar, and that energy can come into your heart when you allow focus into it. Safety, safety. Above and below, in your heart and in the skies. Okay. Christine Thomas, I have 2 daughters who are essential workers. Have put protection bubble around them in white light. Yes, yes, yes. Rosemary Gutierrez, I'd like to hear from my daughter. I worry about her. Is she doing okay? I wish, Rosemary, that I had your daughter's first name. That's usually what I do to tune in. I'm going to read the energy versus doing a psychic reading, unless I see it pop up on the screen, but I'm about to close my eyes too, so go ahead and pop it there and maybe I'll see it in a second. The question specifically, I'd like to hear from my daughter. I worry about her. Is she doing okay? Is she far away? I do feel that the daughter is strong. Elizabeth, I'm glad I saw that. Elizabeth, she is strong. Kind of like that goddess warrior energy, not like goddess of sit around and eat grapes. She's like a goddess warrior energy, very strong, very capable. Even if her energetic sensitivities have made her emotional and susceptible to sort of like feelings of empathic overwhelm or whatever. It's possible, I sense that. But it doesn't mean she's not strong. It just means she's sensitive too. Wherever she's at, I'm not worried about her at all. I do feel that one of the things I'm being called to remind us all is that our loved ones have angels and ancestors and guides and spirit guides. They have their own spirit team, and if they're to be safe, it's not just up to us, because you'd be imagine how limited we are compared to what their spirit team is capable of doing. So pray that her spirit team and her have a strong connection so that they can guide her. Wherever she is, she's just surrounded by security. It feels like security. It feels solid and still. Peace, it also feels like what peace feels like, but it's stronger than just what we think of peace, because peace we think is soft. So it feels like security. That's the word for the energy. Strengthen the connection between her and the spirit guides, and in turn, you will feel that you have a stronger connection with her. I just scrolled down too far. Hold on. Heidi, is my mom around my family helping my boys and help the car accidents? Is my mom around my family helping my boys and helped with car accidents? Your mom must be passed. And it was interesting because we were going to the skies and above, and that really does kind of mean like the skies and the heavens. And I felt the power was overseeing. It was overhead. Can I give you the short answer, Heidi? If mom is around your family, she is in no way the only one who's around them. In no way, because it feels like a blanket of soul energy. Your mom being front and center, but your mom is also with you. She's holding your hand. Everything she does is from above. I think she really wants to tell you that there is a heaven, that there is a way that you would think of that, like she's above you, she's looking down on you. And I think she's trying to convey the up and down area to be like, I can oversee, I can help, I can oversee. I have a greater sense of control to help you. Like I supersede anything that's not supposed to happen. I can affect change and look over. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Hummingbird 27. Partner was diagnosed with bipolar 1, is doing better, but it was hard for many years for us. We worked together and I want to change our direction, will we be able to make that business shift and refocus on us? Are you doing a business where you're focusing on your relationship or your challenges or your things that are, I don't mean to sound like insensitive, but are you capitalizing upon your successes and your wins in your unique scenario? Because, sorry, my nose is itchy. Because I'm feeling like a level of, what am I saying? Not vulnerability, because it's not vulnerable. It's like I guess the word is like not just authenticity, but like rawness, realness, like full access. I'm wondering if there's something about your business. I'm telling you, the business I feel in the future, like lays it all out on the table. There's nothing held back. There's nothing too sacred that you can't talk about. It feels very real and very raw and very divulging of the wins and the challenges and the structure that created those. You do have something to say, you have something to give, you have something to teach. I don't think this is a product-based thing. I think it's about success in certain problems or things to solve, solutions that you had to find. Can you refocus? I'm already talking about the future, so yes. Will we be able to make that business shift? I do feel some resistance, and it might be that the other person is, I can't read it, but I just saw that you had a comment. I'll look in a second. I don't know if the partner I don't know if they're a little bit under the fire with the authenticity a little bit more. Could be that you're wondering if that is the way it can be done. I'm hearing, do your research of other people who are unapologetically talking about something taboo. I'm going to scroll down. We're in marketing right now, but yes, a new level of honesty is between us that wasn't there before. It does feel new. Yes, I felt it from here. I do feel that it can be refocused. I do feel the partner is going to be resistant a little bit, like, I don't know if I want to kind of go all out, but you have to go all out. You have to do it. So do me a favor, like I said just a minute ago, look into people and businesses, entrepreneurs, marketers, people who are out there, influencers, who lay it all on the line, who don't mind getting completely stripped down and raw, and get inspired and see if there's anything that they're doing that feels like it makes sense for you to do a version of that yourself. And just go where you're inspired by others, because I do feel there is a inspiration to go this direction. So it is real. It's brave, but it's real, and it will pay off. I do feel it from here. Yes. Kimberly says, hi Tana, so glad I tuned in. I've had a reoccurring ear sinus, left gland, sore throat, headache, fatigue issue. The doctor can't seem to get rid of the other than that, everything is great. You're so cute. Other than that, everything's great. Okay, so reoccurring ear, sinus, left gland, sore throat, head, fatigue. So most of it all in here. Okay. Let me just sit with the energy real quick. Okay. This is interesting energy. I usually don't see this color, and I usually don't see it doing what it's doing. I'm not quite sure what it's doing, so I'm watching it. It's a unique way to solve an issue, so it must be that you have sort of a unique situation that needs like some pull out some different stops. Let me explain. I feel okay, do you know when you poke your eye or you have something happen to your eye and they put a patch on it so you don't like expose it to anything and it just stays in a rested state. I feel your whole side, like there's this thick, padded orange energy band-aid, and they just want to like stick it on there and let it deliver high impact energy stimulation and nutrients to that area. And then ultimately, it's almost like, I don't mean to get weird, but like mothers have the placenta, the source of the nutrients, and it's with the baby, and then when it's no longer needed, it can move away. It sort of feels like the energy of orange, a very vibrant orange, if I may say. And the energy of orange feels like it wants to be there and cocoon and like revitalize the energy on this side, and just like really feels like bringing nutrients, bringing vital energy. But it can be just centered in the area that you need. Imagine like what vitamin C does. It makes me think of that, like nutrients, but a very acutely focused, heightened energy supplement, energetic supplement in this area. It feels like orange. And then one day you won't feel the orange anymore. So do me a favor. I am getting that, and it is different, so there's a reason I'm getting it. So if you feel ever like you're thinking about orange, or you could think about orange, put that in that space. And if this is speaking to you, you're also feeling like, oh, I feel like I'm being drawn to this message right now, then imagine orange when you need it. It feels like a patch. That's what it feels like, an energy patch. Okay, now let's try to be practical too. I'm not unreasonable. I'm not all woo-woo. Let's see if I have anything else. Ear, sinus, left gland, sore throat, headache, fatigue. I'm just going to call it like I see it again, you guys. Please, please, please. I'm not a doctor, and I don't know everything there is to know for sure, but I do feel everything keeps repeating, like nutrients, minerals, vitamins, supplements, things like that. So if this feels right for you and you've been getting the guidance to do something like that, or someone gives you some advice that includes that, I do feel that strengthening the health of these areas can be reached through possible incorporation of that, okay? You guys, I'm going to not stop right here, but I'm just going to remind you, doing this is the way I've been refocusing the work in my business. And right now, you guys, I know a lot of people aren't in a position to do the $150 1 hour things with me. So instead, I'm going on live. If you guys have the ability and the means, if you could spare $5, that pays my phone bill and keeps me able to do lives. I don't mean to be salesy. I'm sorry to even do this, but you know what? I think, we're all trying to support our small businesses and our people, and you might not be able to do a lot, and I totally get that. And if you can't do anything, I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you're receiving. I'm glad you're open. But if you can, there's a link in the description. If you got a reading or you'd like to support, please consider doing that. And I'm just so grateful for you. Please show PayPal link. We can't show it in the description because it won't post on the live chat, but in the description of the video, it is there. And basically it's paypal.me/Tana Newberry, my name. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry to even say that and break up the energy, but you know what? A lot of you guys have been asking me how to support, and quite honestly, that is how you could do it. Let's get back to it. Okay. All right. Michelle says, I'm worried about my health, chronic pain all the time. Michelle, I immediately step into the energetics of your body, and I do feel that pain. It is scary, I know. First of all, I just kind of want to honor where you're at. you know how when we were sending that like pink warm blanket to the kids that needed their mother, I do feel, Michelle, that you would really benefit from some of that energy too, just the wispy kind, the kind that doesn't put a lot of pressure on your energy. You know, I don't mean to be dismissive of where you're at, but I will tell you that sometimes the universe gives us the gift of stillness, because I do feel you limiting your movement, and I do feel you sitting or being limited in your movement. Stillness. I do feel your body is in stillness. And when it's not, it has a harder time, obviously. But I feel like I want to tell you not to be afraid of the stillness, because in the stillness, there is also, not to dismiss what you're feeling, but Spirit wants to remind you that in the stillness, there are other things that in movement, there is not. Everything has its own unique energy signature, and not to dismiss all the things that are hard, because I know, Michelle, I know it is hard, and I know it is scary. I don't know if you cry or you just feel like it. It feels like the pain is so overwhelming. Sometimes it's the only thing that's real. I feel your struggle, and I honor it, and I know when you're still, you can have a reprieve at times, but that's hard. The world wants you to drive to pick up prescriptions, and it wants you to do the laundry, and it wants you to even have to go to the bathroom every couple hours, and all of this just feels very like too much. Like, I can't do that. So what I want to do is I want to make you strong in the stillness. I want to give you peace. I want to bring the pink wispy energy around your body. And I want it to just, I want it to interact with the pain and soften the sting. And just soften it. They are making me focus on your breath. Sometimes you can breathe your way through the pain a little bit, and they're saying to look into strategic breathing. I don't know what that means, but look into it, okay? Oh, they're saying like, you know, like when mothers give birth, there's Lamaze, there's like something to breathing. I don't know what it is, but look into it. And just know that maybe if you'll allow me to, I can do a session for you one-on-one, and just my treat on me, because you do have a lot of pain to work with, and I'm not going to say it's easy to just fix, because if it was, you'd have done it. But I think that pink energy, that wispy energy, can interact and soften the pain. So reach me and let me know who you are, and let's schedule a time where I can do a little session for you. I really feel like you could benefit from that. Okay. All right. Linda, I have not been able to shake a chronic anger, outrage, blame. I get that energy. Concerning the stuff around the COVID. I may not be able, it may not be all mine since I'm an empath. That's a really good point, Linda. Yeah, because empaths right now, whew, do we have a lot of content. You know, there are, no matter what camp you're in, as far as how you're looking at the COVID or how you're looking at any of the world issues, or no matter what camp there is, there's so many different paths, and some are not easily jived with others. And when one is imposed or enforced on another that doesn't jive with that, there's this disresonance, this disarray in the energetics of the person who is affected. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to think about all the empaths who are feeling the effects of everyone else. And what I'd like to do is literally package up the anger and the outrage and the blame. Keep, you guys, the key is to keep the insight. Keep the insight. Keep the intellect. Keep the reflection. Keep those things. But rid yourself of the control it has beyond the control you want to give it. So all my empaths, I know many of you are, I want you to do something with me here. Come into a state. I want you to put a basket in front of you. Laundry basket, picnic basket, I don't care. And I want you to literally feel like your energy is scooping out anything. You're keeping the reflection, keeping the intellect, keeping the epiphany, keeping the thoughts, keeping the reflections, okay? Keeping all of that, the parts that can serve and be utilized, but taking the power that the anger and everything has over you that takes away from you. I mean, literally lose that and just throw it into the basket. Like, just get rid of it like it's an ex-lover that you don't want anything to do with anymore. You're like, nope, it's a deal breaker. I don't want that. And just feel yourself packing this neat little care package, okay? And just put all of it in there. Imagine that you're taking inventory, like when you move. What do I keep and what do I get rid of, right? Keep what you want. Get rid of what has power over you beyond your control. Package it up. And I want you to imagine 25 angels all show up, no matter how heavy this basket is. They just float that right on up to heaven. Take that away from you. And you guys, as empaths, you may need to do this over and over and over and over and constantly visualize the release of the control that these feelings have over you. Keep the information. What empaths don't always realize is that their feelings and their energies, it's information. It's information, and that's meant to be useful. But the control that power has over you, you don't want anything to be in control of you. So you can constantly, in a million ways, imagine the energy leaving you, leaving you, leaving you. Thank you for facilitating that for us, Linda. Jeannie, remember, if you have something for me, please write it in all caps so I don't miss it, because I'm afraid I'm going to miss some of these that are in lowercase. So please put it in all caps so I definitely see it if you have something you're saying to me, not just to each other. Okay. I'm feeling ill and I'm worried. I'm waiting for the results of the COVID test and I'm scared. I hope I make it. Jeannie, 1, 2, 3. Jeannie, don't be scared that I'm going to tune in. I just want to be thorough, okay? So don't be scared that I'm not answering quickly. I just really, really want to assess everything I'm getting and then share all the insights. So give me just a second. I don't even know what the test is, but they're showing me blood. They're showing me you have strong blood. Strong blood. I have no idea how this virus works. Sorry, like I said, so bad at the medical stuff, but they're showing me you have strong blood. Like, even if certain people have any type of sickness or virus, that the health or the manifestation of how their blood is made up and functions has a lot to do with who is, the word they're using is affected, which is kind of general, but they're just showing me you have strong blood. Like, even if you did have a virus, like, it wouldn't, it's just, first of all, let me be clear. I think, honestly, if you had the COVID virus or any urgency was like, oh my gosh, I would have felt it right away. And to be honest, I had to search for the information. So every time someone comes to me with a health reading, if I don't immediately know the problem and feel it, then it's like not a big problem in the room. So the thing they are showing me is strong, healthy, unique, perfect blood. That's what they're showing me. I don't know if that makes sense, you guys. I don't know how this virus works, but I really, really, really don't see the things you're afraid I would see. Let's see, the virus lung issues because of the lowered oxygen level, red blood cells transport. Yeah, okay, so something with, I'm going to read that. Hold on. Make sure you said that. The virus lung issues because of lower oxygen levels, red blood cells transport oxygen. So is there a certain kind of blood that like is really healthy with oxygen cells? It just feels like strong, healthy, unique, capable, sufficient blood. That's what it feels like. And again, I don't feel the impact of anything really great. And I would, if it was an elephant in the room, I would feel that. It is the absence of that. Okay. Lost my place. Hold on one sec here. My goodness. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay, I found my spot. Okay, Maureen O'Neill, you gave my nephews a message from their mom. So accurate. Oh, wow. Okay, good. Okay, Nerd Realness T. I like that. Hi, Tana. I'm an essential worker. Do you have any messages from my uncle and grandfather? Would you mind giving me their first names? If you have that, their first names, and then I'll scroll down and look at it in just a second. Okay. Uncle and grandfather. I will tell you, they come joined hip to hip. Like there's no space in between them. On an energetic level, it's not like one's over here and one's over there. They must have been on the same side of the family or very close, or they are now. Sometimes spirits get close on the other side. If that's what's happening, are they on the other side? I'm assuming. When I see them very close, it means they're involved in the same things. They literally are together all the time doing the same things. They could have a vested interest in the same, it feels like it's probably the same family line. So what do we say? Uncle and grandfather would have been, so the grandfather would have been the father of the uncle. That's, I wouldn't be surprised because there's no space in between them. They're talking about the mom. They're saying mom, maybe it's your mom. Is it mom's brother? Is it mom's brother? I don't see a message yet. Okay. Okay, let me go back to why they were pointing to mom. They're pointing to mom. I'm assuming it's your mom, because that's why they would say mom. And they're showing me a little bit of like a frail energy or like a fickle energy, like there's some fear, there's some worry, and I know it's I'm just gonna say it like I feel it, okay? It feels like it's a lot to address the needs of someone who might be a little overly active in their worry or whatever, because it's like a constant thing that you have to sort of address. But they're just letting you know that when you help, it goes a really, really long way. It goes a really, really long way. And it's just a little, I'm not saying it's a little bit of work for you, because it's a lot of work for you, but it changes the sun and the moon for her. And forgive me, if this is not your mother and this is somebody else you're doing it for, please, the energy is a little random and where I'm placing them, because I don't have their names or alignments. So I'm having a little, it's like a puzzle that moves. I don't really know where to place it. But I feel like if it says moms, I'm hearing mom, it should be your mom. If those two are on the other side, I mean, I could literally say they're next to each other. They do feel like they're on the other side, by the way, but they're next to each other. They spend a lot of time with each other. I think they are together more than anybody else on the other side. It does feel like the same side of the family. They're pointing to the mom, saying you make a big difference. It's kind of like the seashell story where the little kids throwing the seashells back into the ocean, and someone goes, you know, there's like a million seashells here, like, or sand dollars or whatever. Like, you're not gonna make a big difference. And he goes, made a big difference to that one. It's kind of like, yes, it's a pool of energy that's so hard to just unravel all of it. But every little thing you do makes a huge impact on her. I'm just going to call it the way I hear it and feel it, and that's what I'm feeling. Best of luck with that. You do have an amazing healing energy, and that's why mom feels it. Okay, let me see. Forever Worthy says, hi, Tana. I feel grounded, but I also have strong waves of ascension symptoms that can kick my booty sometimes. Yes, making me quiet in my leadership, but also feel this is my soul evolution time. Okay, I'm feeling like I just have to be raw. Usually, not that I would filter things, but on a live, I always feel like I want to say things very gently, but then other times it is the opposite of me being very transparent of what I receive. So let me be very clear. Forever Worthy, I gave advice to someone else earlier to be raw and vulnerable and to be like, lay it all out on the line. I have to be honest, Forever Worthy, for some reason, I feel you more in the zone and in your comfort zone when you think through what your leadership is. I do feel like we want to see, not that we want to see, but you feel anchored and in alignment, and you get what you want out of your leadership skills when you give the highlight reel. And I don't know if, I'm not saying you can't be authentic, real, or raw, but I feel like there's this pressure that you should do that when you're struggling. And I want to let you know that you only have to do that if you want to do that. So I kind of feel like it's okay to get your ducks in a row and present information that you feel you've thought over and created just as so. And I'm not saying it's inauthentic. I'm saying it's art. Leadership is an art. There are no wrong answers to how to be you. And what feels good to you feels good to you. So it's okay to sort of duck out when you don't have it figured out, because when you do, or you kind of get some inspiration, you're going to package it in a way that makes you proud. And you're going to come up and go, man, I ducked out for a minute. Let me tell you what I went through. I thought it through. Here are my thoughts, and here's my point. And I do feel that you have a beautiful artistic strength in that. So don't feel like the rest of the world is laying it all out there and you feel a little overwhelmed when you feel like there might be pressure for you to do that, because it is art and it is what you want it to be. And I do feel that when you have thought everything through and organized it, I do feel like you're more proud of the way you lead, and that is beautiful. That's beautiful. So when ascension symptoms kick you in the butt and it makes you quiet, take the time. Create your art, fine-tune it like you're showing it off at a gallery, give it good lighting and set it up just so, and make your beautiful crafted artistic point that you want to make. That is your strength. That is your anchor. Do not be ashamed of wanting things to be what you create them to be. Creation is a huge part. It's good to be raw if that's your thing, but you can also create, okay? That's really good. Okay. Let's see here. Need a reading. I'm having a hard complained relationship. I need to know how to fix it. Bailey, having a relationship that's hard. Okay, babe. I think it's regular life stuff that you're incompatible on the way you communicate about it, the way it affects you, the way it triggers you. what certain areas bring out your strengths, what certain areas bring out insecurities. There's a mismatch in the average reaction to everyday circumstances. I wouldn't be surprised if you and your relationship had just started to feel the effects of either coupling or living together or anything where you'd be sort of both on the team to figure out things like bills or how do I get to work or like life things. Bailey, I'm not going to say that I absolutely 100% just think you need to go to counseling, because that's not really, that's a method. I'd like the outcome. So you can choose your method, but the outcome is that I'd like to see is the disconnect between the two of you responding, being triggered, and assessing a situation differently, feeling like you're on different pages and therefore sort of pulling apart the chemistry. I'd like to feel that the energy is unified, and this can happen when there is either, it really comes down to an understanding and, for extra credit, appreciation of everything that is the inner workings of the other person, and to be so enlightened with the inner workings of the other person that you know it as well as you know your own inner workings, which is also another thing. So, the love language book, I wonder if there's like a version of it that has to do with like love languages and money, or love languages and like regular life, because I do feel that the coupling on the life issues, like living together or whatever, has come to a head and created, there is a divide. I'm not saying you can't fix it. I'm saying this is how you do it. I'm saying Spirit makes me feel like it wants to unify, and the only way to do that is to understand the inner workings of the other person, because when you do something, it may mean that you were feeling this, that's why you did it. So you think when they do something like that, they must have felt that way, but they may have had a totally other system and motivation. So I do feel that this is the situation in this circumstance, and if we can unify, that would fix it. You did say fix it, so I know you're committed to being with this person, and I do think just energetically, I do feel like that can happen and would be a good thing. I am for this relationship. If you're able to do that, it's completely within your capability. Just pay attention to what makes you sensitive, what makes them sensitive, and start to understand the inner workings of that so that you're enlightened with that data, which will help unify you. I'm sending healing. Let's send healing. Let's just imagine two bright lights, full and complete and healthy on their own, dancing towards each other and coming into one another in one column of light. Still a yin and yang within that, but together, unified as one seamless, beautiful, bright, shining light. Sending energy to Bailey and Bailey's relationship, and just holding the space of unifying energy for them. Jennifer says, I had a huge download a few nights back. I feel like my Kundalini rose as well. Is that right? Felt like balls of energy rolling under my skin from my feet and my head, and then exploded in my head. Yeah, that's what that is. That's a short answer. Yeah, I've never felt closer to it than when I did Kundalini yoga. That was the closest I've ever felt to it. Other than when you're, having sexy time, Kundalini energy gets awakened too. Okay, let's see what else. Suzanne says, can you do a health reading on me, please? Sure, Suzanne. Just tune into your energy, my dear. I already feel soft green around you. Oh, a lot of reverence. A lot of heart, Suzanne. Ooh. A lot of heart and soul. think there are things awakening in you and just under the surface that maybe others don't get a chance to really acknowledge, but under it, you're just this detailed, vast, intricate, beautiful, awe-inspiring energy. But I do feel that there's like it's not a block, it's more like a cloak over it. And you're asking specifically, not just about energy, but you're asking about health. The light green energy, it almost feels like a green plant like energy, but tone it down to be a pastel. That's what it's like. I'm feeling it all in the mid-body. So not, I mean, I guess it could kind of extend out to the legs and arms, but let's call a spade a spade. I feel it in the mid-body, everywhere in the mid-body. And I feel this energy just like cotton candy, wispy pink. Wispy is a gentle energy, so it doesn't force movement or force a jolt in vitality. It's very forgiving, which means also on a psychic perspective that on the timeline, any action you need to take is also very forgiving. The timeline is forgiving, meaning there's not as much urgency as you think. There is forgiveness in the timeline. There is openness. There is a window. Energetically, when energy becomes wispy, it means that it's not urgent as much. It feels gentle or peaceful, which is the opposite of hurry up, let's go. So that energy is surrounding your entire mid-body. It is the color of the. It's not really the color of the heart. The color of the heart is green. But it's more of like a deep emerald green, where this is more like a pastel plant color, like a forest green, and then vectored down to be a pastel. So it's not exactly the reddish green, you know what I mean, the bright green. It just feels it feels like just a state of cleansing and health. I will say that earlier before, I did feel a little bit of a cloak around you. So not to sound woo-woo, but sometimes energetically, it does have a bearing on what we're experiencing physically. And being drawn to your lungs and to your, could be heart, because we talked about green, but like here, I think the energy is coming all around to support this energy. I hope if you've ever been a smoker or anything like that, you've considered quitting, or you did, just because anytime I'm drawn to the chest, I mean, adults, when I'm drawn to their chest, every once in a while, it's because Spirit is giving advice about that. So if you do have that, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but if there's something there, just make sure that the lung health is really, I'm not saying anything's wrong. If you don't know something's wrong, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it really helps to support the area that brings oxygen into the body, and having just a really healthy mid-body is very important, and I do feel health energy coming around there. Again, I don't feel urgency, and I don't feel panicked. I don't feel anything like that, but I do feel that there's the system working to keep it healthy, and you could support that as well. You could assist that energy as well. If there's anything going on with your legs and arms, I wouldn't worry about it at all, because I didn't even see it. It's like they weren't even there. So if you have something going on in any of those areas, I would say it's going to be a flash in the pan, or you'll find a solution, or you'll find a way to get into a state of okayness or health about it, okay? Because they almost like weren't there. Okay? All right. Let's see what we have here. I keep messing up where I am. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, AP. Hey, Tana, will I ever find love and get married? AP. I wish I knew your name. AP, do you want to give me your name? It is like, seriously, I get more information that way. Just your first name, if you want to give that to me. Oh, I do feel, sorry, I didn't mean to, okay, I didn't mean to give a kind of feeling. I do feel like you just had a heyday. Either one, or like a streak, or like we look at love and we're just like, oh, like I was so disappointed by whatever has happened. But not in a way that it's hurting you anymore, not in a way where there's like all this crappy work you have to do around it. I do feel it when I tune in. I can't help but notice that energy behind you. That's okay. It's totally fine. We all have narratives. I can't get the picture. Okay. 100% yes. What was your question? Will you ever love and get married again? Yes. 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 I do. I do. I do. I see 2 rings in my mind. I see 2 rings. That is clear. Clear as a bell. 2 rings. That is marriage. Marriage specifically, not just love, but marriage. It also indicates to me that it is the last marriage, meaning that is the one you end up with. I'm not going to say I'm good at predicting this, but you guys, sometimes I'm really good at predicting this. So I would treat your future like you know it's going to happen, because there's a lot of things I could have maybe seen, a person, a place, but I saw rings, and that is a very specific answer to the question. I'm not going to say all the way you feel. I feel the way you feel and what the fears and insecurities are. Okay, so look at me. I feel them and I hear them. I'm not going to say them all. It's just no need, because everybody's afraid and everybody's scared and everybody doesn't feel like they're enough, or like all the things that run through when you think that's it and there's nothing else for you. All those things. I honor you. I respect you. I get that, but from a psychic perspective, my love, my dear, I completely disagree on all accounts. I see love. I see the one. I see marriage. I see all the things that you thought were limiting you, like it couldn't happen because of this, or your time was up, or what good am I now, or whatever it is, all that stuff. Make your list and throw it in the trash, because it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It means this much. Listen to me. When you have a twin flame, when you have a soulmate, and everybody has soulmates, we are not an island. We have loved 1,000,000 times over, and there is no shortage of partners for us in spirit and in love, and it shows up in our life. If you want love, you literally draw it in, even when you don't feel like your decisions make a difference. They do. It is not the end of the game for you at all. You wait and see. I'm right. I'm right. You wait and see. You're going to remember this. The day you get married, I want you to think of me. Just kidding. Just being selfish. You don't have to think of me. But if you do, you have to let me know. Okay, let's see here. Where am I? Hi, Tana. I'm in tears. Thank you for your service. Oh, yes, definitely, Michelle. Message me about a private reading. Okay, Lynn, if there's time, I'd like to know about a message I keep getting. Is this for my highest good? Lynn, message for your highest good. I didn't jump right to yes. I'm going to tell you what that means to me from a psychic perspective. I think it needs to marinate, because I do feel like it might be about a change. And even if it's a yes, I kind of wonder if it's like not yet, or there's the highest way you could go through this, keeping in mind everything that you care about and want to happen a certain way. So with that in mind, there's a way to navigate this, and it may not be the absolute answer, like yes right now, that you're asking. I do feel it is about change, and I feel that it may be yes, but there is a little bit of timing that matters. So if we had to nail it down to, should I make the change right now or do the thing right now? I almost want to tell you the highest expression of getting everything you want is no, not yet. But the thing is we receive foresight. We receive foresight on things, sometimes years in advance. Not that you have to wait for years. But there is just a little something that the universe and spirit is going to be making a little more clear and fine-tuned for you. I do think that any guidance you're getting, if it's getting through that ego and us like pushing it back, like, oh my gosh, no, oh my gosh, no. We do that all the time to real good psychic information. If you're even getting it, it's probably a yes. But I have to be honest, I don't know if the time is right this second. I do feel that it's being worked on. So follow your guidance on the timing too. So the direct answer is no, not yet. The other answer is there's a reason you think and feel, and even if you discount it as your imagination, it's probably because it's come through your intuition 100 times and you've listened only once. So I'm going to say it like that. And that's not abnormal, so I'm not calling you out. That's kind of normal. We have a filtering system. So that's what I feel for that. Okay. Sherry says, I lost my husband, Dennis, of 48 years. Oh, goodness, 4 months ago. I'm lost, and I hope you can reach him. Sherry, there are many different types of psychic skills, and mediumship is a very specific one where you handle discussing things and getting information from the other side. I'm going to be completely transparent. I'm way better at sensing someone's personal future than I am connecting with those on the other side. Yes, I can sense them, but it's almost like I don't have the right software to process all the information. Linda, my friend Linda Grindell, that's a lot of you guys know, she will see the person and have a conversation with them, sit next to you. Mediums are very, very specifically gifted to do just that, and I highly recommend you see a medium. But I do have, I'm going to spill cards everywhere. Okay. Oh, also, I have a reading on my YouTube channel called Message from a Deceased Loved One. It's a pick a card reading where you choose one of the 4 decks. You guys, I was so, if I ever had a time that I was plugged in as a medium, I think that was the highest time. So I literally was channeling word for word the messages that those people were giving me. So go over and watch the Message from Your Deceased Loved One reading, pick a deck. I had some people sometimes say that they're drawn to 2, so they listen to both and they're glad they did. So, just do that. But this is the deck I used, just because the energy is so everywhere tonight and you want a message from your sweet Dennis. I'm just going to pull a couple cards from here. Oh, okay. Okay, 3 cards. Let me just hold them up for you. Remember me by the happy memories we created. This tells me that the first, I can channel. Hold on a sec. Did he call you, it's like a pet name. It's more of a feeling, like a sweetie, sweetheart, sweet. I don't know if it is any of those words, but it's like a pet name. Sherry, he was so happy. He's saying, I was so happy. You made me so happy. He says, every morning, every night, even when you didn't know it, I was grateful for you, and you made me so happy. And of course, you still make him happy, but he's talking about you had a really good life together. I wouldn't be surprised if you had children, because he's kind of going like this, like, look at the life we created. He just wants you to know that he loved his life with you. He loved this time around. I do feel like he is either your twin or your soulmate, because he's kind of showing me like, we did it before, babe, we'll do it again. But he said, this time was great. My gosh, did I just love our life together. I loved our life together. He also, on the other side, the card is about being met by other people, that he was with his, did he love his mother or lose his mother early or what? He shows me he was happy about, like, I don't even know if the mother's passed. She could be. Either way, he's happy. He's saying something about, I'm happy to have the relation I do now, from the perspective I have now or whatever, with my mom. There's a million reasons why that could be. Sometimes it's because the mom didn't believe in anything in the afterlife. Sometimes it's because they did, and then when they got there, they were like, Mom, you were right. Sometimes it was because they were apart when they were young. Sometimes it was because the mom died early. Sometimes it's just because they loved their mom. But he's just saying, I'm happy about Mom and I. So he's saying that. And he was also saying, I also feel the pet word again, baby, sweetie, whatever it is. Okay, I feel the pet word again. And it feels like we knew. I wouldn't be surprised if he was sick or something, because he's saying something like, we knew, or he was older. I don't know. We knew this was going to happen, and we knew that one day you'd have to be strong. And it's okay, because you are. It just really, really feels like a beautiful energy. Very, very loving. My biggest takeaway from that, Sherry, is he loved his life with you. Loved it. Even when he didn't tell you. Okay. Let's see what else we have. I keep bouncing the wrong way. Let me see here. Sorry guys, one sec. Okay, how long have we been on the live? Let me see. 100, what is it? How many minutes? Where's the clock? Where's the clicker? There we go. Okay. So I will, I think there literally is a pad. Okay. I will keep going as long as I can until all the batteries go dead, but it could be soon. Okay. All right. Okay, Stacy Ann. This is Stacy. Do you think my mom and grandmother are watching over me? Yes. Yes, they do. Do you want to give me their your mom and your grandmother's first name, and I can try and tune in? I do feel, it keeps bouncing me down to the, let me find it again. Okay, Stacy, I do feel that they're watching over you, but because they're watching over you, they want to talk about you, not them. I know I just gave a message to Sherry about Dennis, about where he was and how he was feeling. But can I just get right to the point? Stacy, I feel like when I tune in to the two individuals, they're pointing at you, like they want to talk about you. They're talking about choices that you had to make. And they're saying that any perceived failures you've ever had, they weren't really your fault. I do feel that there is a sense of, I wish we were there, like the way we were before, or could have been before, but that they are absolutely watching over you, and they just want you to just really be strong and pay attention to where you're at in life right now, because every decision you're making and choice you're making, they're saying it is important. And they want you to do a good job at whatever you're facing right now and feel like I don't know what it is you're working on. I'm not calling you out, but sometimes people go through addictions. Sometimes people are going through divorces. Some people are, feeling empty for a reason, or sometimes they're trying to raise a child who is strong-willed, or sometimes there's so many different things that people go through, but they're just showing me like, just be strong, because the things you do now are going to be things that count to you later, and we're here and we're helping you. And don't worry about feeling less than. Don't worry about that. Just do your best and treat it like you want to do your best, and consider your choices like you want to do your best. And don't lose sight of what you want just because you're afraid that any individual parts you didn't do as well as you wanted to do. They're just showing me that they're surrounding you with so much love, and they wish it was easier. And then they also wish that you would know that life is not easy, and that just pay attention and focus, but don't overwhelm yourself with guilt either. Okay? It's like, be effective, but because it is important. But try not to let guilt overrule you either, because that won't be where they want to see your heart either. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, Shariel, can I get a general read? Is it Shariel? Shariel, can I get a general reading? Okay, general reading. I'm doing more healings tonight. I should have come prepared with my fancy deck, my deck that I use for everything. Luckily, I have a ton of decks behind me, so let's see what we got here. A general reading. So many things a general reading could be. Let's see what's coming up for you. I'm hearing the word stamina. I feel that there's a lot of energy, either, this would be the kind of energy if someone had quarantine with like 5 family members and there was just a lot of energy everywhere. Or it would be the energy of someone who has a lot of plates that they're spinning. Like there's just so, like, energy is everywhere, not in a bad way, but in a way where there's like so many different focal points that it kind of, it just kind of goes in all sorts of places, which is totally fine. And yes, I think maybe some of them could be rethought or reprioritized, but I also appreciate all the things you've cultivated and you care about and are doing. And a lot of them are sort of good at producing possibly some avenues. It's okay that it's like divide and conquer. It's okay. It's okay. But I do feel there is some stamina possible issues. Just feeling like you are effective enough without getting worn out at doing all the things. So it does feel like a little bit of appreciation for whatever makes the system work for you. So whether that is naps, whether that is baths, whether that is taking 3 days off instead of the normal 2, I don't care what it is. I don't know if it's like you work, and then all of a sudden you hit the wall and you're like, I can't go any further. I need to check out. Whatever it is, it's okay, because I just feel like I want your stamina to be effective. And sometimes, again, I think I said this earlier, we need to get away from the idea that rest is not an effective way to conquer the goal. Like, we can still be moving towards the goal while we're resting. I saw something like that once and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So I just feel stamina, an energy of stamina. Like there's a lot of energy, it keeps up, and all of a sudden it goes. And if it does that, then let it do that and recharge your batteries, because there's a lot going on. I don't mind. Usually when I feel like there's a lot going on, I'm like, yeah, maybe focus, or like hunkering on one thing at a time. But it feels like, you know how I use the metaphor of like a home full of energy and people. That would feel very overwhelming, but you also love all those people. So even though they drive you crazy, you love them, so it feels energetically like that, whether it is people or things. I wouldn't necessarily rework what you're doing or what you're giving your focus to, but maybe just rework what you're doing to make sure your stamina is efficient enough to show up the way you want to as often as possible. Okay. Shelly says, I've been going to the doctor forever. They cannot tell me what is wrong. Can you tell me? Shelly, the short answer is, I could try, but I'm not super great at it. The thing is I'm not a medical intuitive, and that is a thing people are. I have to throw my friend out there who is, I think, maybe in the chat. I have a friend named Melissa. I don't know if she's taking on clients right now because she's kind of doing the home thing right now, but she is a very gifted medical intuitive, and literally the way I answer questions and the way she answers questions is night and day. I highly recommend you get connected with her. Her website, even if she emails back and says she needs a little time before she gets to you, is gypsygirlsisterhood.com. And I think she's got information there about that. I keep losing my place. I'm sorry. One sec. All my batteries are getting so low. Okay, you guys, I think I have to just run through this and see if there's anything I'm feeling super drawn to. And then if you guys did any money, I'll get you the other time around, because all my things are dying. They're dying. Okay, hold on. Okay. When will I meet my true love? I hope I'm not skipping, you guys. I'm sorry. When will I meet my true love? Kelly says, Kelly. Kelly, it doesn't always mean you're going to meet your true love at this time, but it means if you were to start the story that's relevant to meeting your true love, this is when it would start. The beginning of the movie would happen in July. I'm being drawn to July. I saw 7. It wasn't 7 months from now. It was month 7. It was July. I know that sounds too good to be true because it's kind of close, or maybe to you it sounds like too far away. I don't know, but I am sensing July. I'm getting drawn there very heavily. And that is the origin story, is what I'm hearing. Origin story, which is just kind of a way my guidance is telling me that if it was a movie, that's where it would start. But it is about meeting your person. So I'm not being like, it's your life story. It is the story about meeting your person. Pay very close attention in July and brush your teeth. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. Maureen O'Neill says, have I already met my future guy? Maureen, you know what's interesting is I do feel someone just beside you. Either you haven't made it known or they haven't made it known. If the answer was no, I would not feel someone around you. But Maureen, I do feel someone around you. So in the context of your question, I'm going to have to say, I think you have met a future guy. The future guy, the next future guy, the future guy. The short answer, because I'm running out of time, is yes. Pay attention to who's there. Pay attention. Even though there's no exchange of honesty, like coming out and being like, yeah, like you, I like you. I don't think you've done that yet, but you know who this person is. The energy's been exchanged. Have you already met him? Yeah. Energetically, there's somebody there. Yep, there's somebody there. Okay, let me see. Okay, Kelly. If not, don't worry about it. I'm sure you can connect with the Tana in another way. Figure it out. Let me go back. When will I meet my true love? That must have been Kelly in July. Kelly, come back during another live reading session that's not just focused on the energy too, and come early and ask that question, and I will totally dig deep while all my tools are charged. I'll dig deep. Okay. Okay, do me a favor, you guys. Do me a favor, if you guys don't mind giving the floor to the people who have donated, because I don't want anybody feeling horrible about having done that. But if you have done that, will you retype your question in the chat right now in all caps if you have done that and I have not gotten to your message? I have a feeling I'm just going to click off in a minute, and I really want to get to the people who went out of their way and were kind of hoping and expecting something in return. And if you guys don't mind, if you didn't do that, you guys, I will get to you. Join me on my lives. I do as many as possible. I don't even pay attention to the PayPal. But please make yourself known if you did that, because I'm going to have to scroll right down to catch up. And then Alicia, if there's anything you can do to help me with that, if you know, you can type that into. I appreciate you guys too. Thank you, Kelly. Okay, I'll give it a few minutes. Okay, Donna says, how do I figure out if I'm blocked in some way? Well, let me look. Sometimes what people think blocked energy is just like timing issues or things like that. So let me see if I do feel you blocked. I'd love to know what you feel blocked from so I could look at that in particular, but let me just look around your energy. I'm usually not someone who talks about like being blocked. It's more like just removing it, and it's a mindset, and I don't always see or feel people necessarily having big like blocks on them. But I do feel like I have to say, the way you understand a block, I feel like the answer is yes, because I would actually kind of call it like, forgive me for saying protection, but it does feel like a little bit of an armor that things have a hard time going in and out of. What are you trying to create right now? Like what's the thing you want to do that you feel blocked from? If I knew that, maybe I could either send energy to it or get some insight on that directly. I do kind of feel like the energy is just in front of you, in your mid-body. But you know what I want to say too, is I don't think it's in your body. It's like just like 2 feet out of your body. So it feels more like protection to me. So I would just ask, like, sorry to just I don't mean to be quick or insensitive, but I want to get to the point so my thing doesn't cut us off. Are you scared of something happening? Are you afraid of like certain kind of risks? Are you kind of in a what if a crisis happens kind of mode, even if it's not like mentally, but like maybe a little bit of programming from like kind of stuff that you went through in the past and now you flinch? You know what I mean? It's not your fault. It's just we have these reactions to the situations we've gone through, and it has us basically, I don't know, it feels like nothing you can't remove, but it does feel, in whatever way, the block and the way the energy shows as like a black plate is usually like a fear energy. And I'm not saying you're fearful or, oh, it's your fault, you're doing a bad job. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that everybody's afraid. And if you want to know if you're blocked, it just means your fear happens to be in this moment for the outcome you're looking for, sort of in the way of, what the outcome is. So I would work on things that make you feel really powerful, that dispel any fear, that reprogram the knee-jerk reactions to anything in the past that you feel like may still have a power over you. Cut out the people and things that no longer serve you, and affirm your power, because no one can impose that as strongly as you can remove it. So just be really intentional with it. I don't think it's anything you can't handle. It's kind of like when we get dirty. It's like, yeah, we're dirty, but if we wanted to do something about it, we could strip and take a shower, but we might be walking around dirty, and it's not the worst thing. It just means, hey, I got dirty from an incident and I will shower. So just like put yourself in the energetic shower, so to speak, and address whatever resonated with you. Take what you'd like, leave what you don't. But yeah, I do think maybe there's a little work that can be done there, but nothing you can't handle and nothing you're not in control over. Okay, good. I did donate, thank you. Doreen, would love any messages from my guide about any aspects of my life. Any aspects, Doreen. Doreen, I hear the words big things. Doreen, I have no way of knowing this, but are you by any chance like a spiritual entrepreneur or somebody who like does retreats or events? There's something like that floating around you. It's like, it's an energy of something you want to create that's kind of like in alignment with kind of the way you jive energetically and spiritually. You're asking me, is there any message from my guides on any aspect of my life? And yes, this is very acutely one aspect of your life. But I have to say, and if I'm wrong about this, take this. It's gatherings. It's being among a community. It's being around like-minded individuals. It does feel spiritual or soulful. It does feel like you are connected to it in some way, like there's some job you have in it. Maybe you do it. Maybe you are organizing it. Maybe you're holding space for others. I do feel that the message I want to give you is that big things, and it's time, or it's okay, or whatever you need to know, that I see it when I look at you. I see it. I feel it. I don't know what you need in that, but I think the message I'm supposed to have for you is just that I see it, and it's there for me, and whatever that affirms for you. Okay, let's see here. Doreen, come back again and I will read in more detail. Okay, Donna, I think I'm meant to help people reach what they need to reach. I think I need to help people reach what they need to reach. Well, we all need some of that. That's awesome. Yes. Yes. If you are helping people reach what they need to reach, that is so needed. Donna, did anything I said about like knee-jerk reactions from, I'm using the word programming, but just means like we all have knee-jerk reactions to whatever it is we responded to and didn't get a good result from. So when I say fear is kind of associated with something that could be like that block, and then you think about your desire that you have to help people reach things, like, are you ready, gung-ho, to do that? Or is that where the block feels like, and is the knee-jerk reaction that you had to it part of what that is coming from? And if it is, how true is that the past has to be what's in the future? And are you actually ready to let go of what felt like more like protection than a block? That's the way I would look at it, because I felt you were powerful enough, and no doubt you know what you need to want to do with it, which is beautiful. And then I think Doreen said that you haven't yet. Doreen, you're welcome to ask me a more specific question, but that is what I got for you. So do me a favor and consider, even if this message resonates 3 months from now, I want you to remember that I said this and jot it down or whatever you need to do, because if you aren't resonating with it now, I do feel like I see it so strongly that like 3 months. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay. Okay. Is it Kana? Kana, I didn't see your question. Let me look up. Hold on. I saw your post, but I didn't see the question. Where are you? What is your question? Here we go. Oh, wait. I have two posts. Hello. I'm wondering why my newly ex-boyfriend won't speak to me. And also, my son was killed in a car wreck almost 17 years ago. Is there any way I can communicate with him? Hannah. I wish I knew your ex-boyfriend's name, but for privacy, I don't want you to have to feel like you have to put it on blast. I'm going to answer that question first. I do feel that he's not talking to you. I don't feel like his attitude is right. Like, he has a opinion about you that is not true to who you are, but he's sort of made up his mind about something, and he just is kind of letting that spin. Good riddance, huh? Anybody who looks at you like that or sizes you up in a certain way or writes you off, I don't know, I have to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you, baby, because I believe that is what you deserve. I'm tuning into him. I don't know his name. Let me see if you put it. I don't see it. Okay. I'm tuning into him. And I feel like if he was talking in a conversation with someone in his life about you, I feel like he wouldn't say something nice. I don't like that. I don't feel like he's right. It's his opinion. You are a multifaceted, beautiful, benevolent being, as everyone is, and it doesn't do justice to size you up the way he has, but it's like he's throwing shade, babe. I don't like what he does when he has the opportunity to assess or weigh in. He's kind of throwing shade. I don't really like that. I kind of don't like that, okay? Also, my energy is getting low and mediumship is hard anyways, but you wanted to ask about your son. Oh, I lost it, period. And he was killed in a car wreck almost 17 years ago. Is there any way you can communicate with him? Interesting enough, and please take this the best way, I do feel that you would wish to feel him more than you do. Sometimes on the other side, I get a sense that they know something we don't, obviously, and that their frequency of noticeable influence and presence into our life versus working behind the scenes. Because they're always working behind the scenes for us. Trust me. It's kind of like the movie Ghost. Remember how he got really involved? Versus just being a spirit watching over and sending loving energy, but not being involved. Patrick Swayze's character got involved, right? And that is kind of what conflicted some of the characters. So what I'm trying to say, and I'm not trying to dismiss anything, is what I'm saying is I feel like your son is making me, like he's talking to me or showing me that he's staying less involved, because if he was noticeably involved, how you'd have him involved every day. But he's almost saying like it's like, please know that I'm always there even when you can't feel me. Can I say that? Even when you haven't seen me, even when you haven't dreamt of me, I'm not away, but there's a purpose in when I'm involved and when you would almost think I'm removed. In truth, I'm not ever that, but there is an effect that it has when we are like involved. So that's not always the case for every spirit, but sometimes I do get that message. So I guess what I'm trying to say from that is that please don't feel like those in spirit are not with you just because you haven't seen them for a while, because they are. It's just that they needed, I don't know why even. I mean, I wouldn't begin to tell you I know everything about the other side. I just know what they've told me in the years I've channeled. But they do make me feel like there's a reason, a very strategic reason why they either involve or they stand back, or why in certain periods of times they do more. He does let me know that there will be a time in the future, it doesn't feel super close, a couple of years from now, where there'll be a little bit more presence. It'll be, he's there when you need him. But I do feel like he's kind of apologizing that he has to stand behind the curtain, and he's telling me there's a reason for that, and he's asking you to please have faith that he is ever present for you. I hope that helps. Okay. Oh my gosh, all the comments. I am just going to click off here. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, I am so running low. Okay. You guys, forgive me. Let me know if you need a refund. Let me know if you want me to read you on my next live. Please be forgiving with the technology, because I try to keep track of it and be here, and it's all very, and be here. It's all a lot. It's a lot. So connect with me if for some reason there has been an injustice. But I am going to spend my last few moments, because I am on the hair of my chinny chin chin here. Okay. I'm going to spend the last few moments reading for everybody. If you're still in this room or still in this video, this reading is for you. I think what I need to do is I need to channel a message. I am going to put it into words. I am going to speak in, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. My phone is dying. Okay. I'm going to channel a message real quick, and then I'm going to go. Okay. For those of you who are at your sights higher, the thing from where you stand, you are not alone, because the wind of spirit, momentum, and purpose and alignment, and you're literally drawn and pulled. So don't think it takes just your energy or your stamina, because the gift you bring when you do the thing pulls with the hearts of all of those you'll affect. For those of you with big dreams, please dream them every night. Pray about them every day. Hold space for intuitive information to come to you. Focus. Be gentle, but take responsibility. Your loved ones are in heaven. They are with you. I'm hearing that those loved ones that we talked about today, and those of you who wanted to hear from your loved ones, I'm hearing that they want me to tell you that you will receive a sign this week a token, a sign, a something from your person, even if you haven't seen them or heard from them in a while, you're going to receive something. And the moment you think, I wonder if that was a sign, stop right there and go, yes, it was. And then stop and listen in your heart and imagine that person speaking to you and receive a message, because you'll be, from that sign, you'll be connected in a way. There'll be a line between the two of you. I want to send so much healing to you. Just imagine bright white light coming from source. Imagine the collective energy of everyone who's going to encounter what we talked about today. Your problems to solve, the fears, the insecurities, the dreams, the desires, the hopes, the loved ones, everything we talked about is just infused ever more with the love of everyone who's come across it. And source has so much love for you. Put yourself back into that disco ball of that multidimensional love infusion we did earlier. Put yourself back there and imagine that every little nook and cranny, every little facet that reflects light is a time and space where someone or something loved you. And point and direct that energy to where you are in this moment at, what is it? 7:38 Pacific Standard Time on, what's the date? 6th? April 6th. This moment, this is where you're going to receive and let pour into you the love that comes from everywhere on the timeline, from everywhere it could come. It all comes and is accessible to you now. Let that energy through you, and in whatever unique way you are a prism for source energy, you shed your light now. It comes through you and back out of you like a beautiful prism with all the colors of the rainbow, affecting areas of your life that touch people and places and things that are important to you and things that you love. I thank you for being here, you guys. I thank you so much for being here. And I will do this again. I'll have a new pick a card reading out on Friday, and I'll let you know when I'm coming back on to do this and readings. I love you guys so much. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry to cut it short, but I will be back with you soon. And I'm a person. Send me a message. Say hi to me. I'd love to hear from you. I'm not a bot. I'm a real person. I care about what you say. I read your comments. I have thoughts and feelings. I'd love to share them with you. So, reach out, and I love you guys. Have a good rest of your night.